Hi, welcome to EN202. Today, I'd like to just spend a little time explaining your course to you. Now, once you get on, you will see a set of links at the top of the page. You're in the introduction section, and it states introduction at the top. All right. Now, at the beginning of the introduction, you've got your welcome message and my calendar of classes. Unfortunately, I don't have set office hours. We don't have office space yet. LNH was destroyed during YouTube. So we'll need to make arrangements prior to any appointments via email or message me on Moodle. However, I will be on every Thursday at 8 to 9:55. So you can always see me at that time and speak with me on the messenger chat, which is available on our course site, Moodle. Okay, so let's go down. In regards to your orientation, we're not having orientation on campus this semester just because of the lack of space. We will not be having our final on campus either. That will be online during the final time that's given to us. So you do have a final exam. It's actually your presentation, your overall presentation of your project for the course, but that is due online during the final exam time that they'll give us then. Okay, so if you go down, you'll see my email address, a welcome message, and a list of student learning outcomes. Please read those through yourself. The course materials for this class are the Curious Researcher, and I'll also, if time allows, provide some supplementary materials from Refining Composition Skills. You don't need to purchase that. It is my understanding that the Curious Researcher is on back order and should be in by this weekend. So not only your class, but all the 202 classes that are using Curious Researcher are waiting for them, including the instructors. So we didn't have the materials left over from after the storm, so I'm waiting for my book as well. But that's okay. We've got plenty to do to get started. All right, so let's go through and talk about the content. You're going to have reading assignments, lesson notes, PowerPoint presentations, and discussion forums to go through in English 202. Each short essay in the course will be evaluated with an A, B, C, or D grade. An F, I'm sorry. So a D is 69. A 69, 60 to 69, and an F would be 0 to 59, a C, 70 to 79, B, 80 to 89, and A, 90 to 100. Now, an important note. We put our essays in 2 times. Our first time is your first draft, which you can receive a grade and feedback. You then get an opportunity to redraft a week later and submit your final draft for a grade. Now, if you submit your first draft and leave it as is, that's how your grade stands. If you submit a redraft, then 50% of the grade will be on the first draft, 50% of the grade will be on the second draft. If you did not get it in time, when it was due, late essays will be accepted, but for only 1 week. Okay, so you have the first draft, and you get feedback, and then the second draft is the graded draft. If you don't get the graded draft in, your first draft will count for your grade, If you do get the graded draft in, but you're unhappy with your grade, you have a chance to redraft it again up to a week later, but the grade will be split 50-50. One for the final grade that you submitted and one for the redraft. If you didn't submit it at all and you're really late, you have a week after the assignment, which is also when the redraft is due, to submit your late essay, but it will be marked down 10%. Okay. We have 4 essays due in the class and a final research report. The research paper will be 20% of your final grade. The essays are all based on a research topic that you've chosen, and each of the essays will become a part of your research report. Of course, your final report will be all written in the past tense because you'll have completed your project at that point. The final research paper will be between 10 and 12 pages long. Each of the 4 essays assigned in the class will be 1 to 2 pages long. Generally, because you're using and building on each essay to include in your research report, students don't have a hard time going to 10 pages. In fact, they usually have more. Okay, your next grade is C, homework and task and attendance and classroom and online participation. Now those are broken down in short weighted areas that total 15% of your grade. And if you look at the course rubrics in the syllabus, you'll see all those areas are highlighted in yellow. Note, all forum and peer review activities must be submitted in time. Forums are meant to help people with a particular assignment, and so there's no use in trying to join later. Same thing with peer review. Peer review is to provide feedback, so people's assignments are stronger. There's no use to do peer feedback once the assignment's been submitted. So no credit is given to forum or peer review activities after their due dates. Peer feedback itself on assignments, research surveys, course drafts, course essays, and final presentations worth 5% of the grade. Quizzes are worth 10% of the grade. Now the quizzes, I'll be giving you between 6 and 7 quizzes in the course. The final grade will be the average of the highest 3. Okay? Presentations, you will be doing a short presentation in a forum on your ideas for your project, but your only real formal presentation will be due at the end of the class, and that'll act as your final, and there you will be giving your results from the project. You will be doing this on a web page. This is a web page that you'll be assigned for the class, and it's on Weebly. On that, you will include an e-portfolio, which is all the materials that you've used to put your report together during the semester, and a reflection on the project, which is worth 5% of your grade and will come at the end. Okay, so if you scroll down the page a bit, you'll come to some important documents. The first one is Bedford St. Martin. It's an APA style guide, and this will be really helpful to you in formatting your papers and your citations for the course. Next, you will find the syllabus. Let's go ahead and click on those and open your syllabus. Okay. Now, if you notice that when you click on EN 202, okay. So hopefully by now you've gotten it open on your page. All right, so if you notice at the top, you will find my name, my email, and the class waiting. Just one moment. Sorry, this is live. Okay. And the administrative LNH message only phone, which is 237-6795. Sorry? I'm using public internet because my internet's still not up at my house, so it's a little bit slow. That's also why I'm sending you this welcome message live. Okay, here we go. So, after my LNH message on the phone, you'll find out that the required text is the Curious Researcher, and like I said, those should be in this week. If by chance you've come across an old version, an earlier edition, go ahead and use that for the class. It's not that much different, okay? So if you've got a 7th or an 8th edition, that's absolutely fine. If you want to use an electronic copy, you can do that as well. I do suggest, however, that you get the book because we will have quizzes based on the chapters in the book, and it's not very long. Okay, now I've scrolled down past the general education and student learning outcomes. Please read those carefully. And I'm at grades and assignments. Here you will see presentations for the class of 5%. As I mentioned before, class participation includes forum attendance, forum homework, forum participation, and collaboration in the course. All of those highlighted in yellow add up to 15% of your grades. You've got 4 essays, each are worth 10%, between 1 and 2 pages long, usually 5 to 7 paragraphs, and they're 40% of your grades. Your final research essay is 10 to 12 pages, and it's 20% of your grades. Now, in regards to the quizzes, those are worth 10% of your grade. I will be giving 6 to 7 quizzes during the course, and I'll be giving you the highest average of 3. So your 3 highest average quizzes will make up your final quiz grade. So it really is up to you. Most of our quizzes, of course, will be online. You'll have an open book. If you do well in the first 3 quizzes and you're happy with that grade, there's no reason to do the rest. If you miss a quiz, there's of course more. If you have technical problems and are unable to finish a quiz, there are of course more. For that reason, I don't usually give people the chance to redo a quiz because we actually have double the amount of quizzes that you need to get the quiz grade for the course. At the end of the course, you will be completing a web page with your final project presentation, ePortfolio, which is a shared documents or materials that you've used to collect data for your project and a reflection on how the project went. That's worth 5% of your grade. Again, forum participation and collaboration within the course is worth 6%. So each week you will be given forums. And of course, forums are important because they're part of your attendance. As I mentioned, you can work, as I mentioned in writing, but I have it on the video, you can work together in groups of 2 or 3. And if you like, as long as some representative of your group is connecting with the forum weekly to keep up your attendance, that's fine. Now, let's see if there's anything else you need from this. If you look I've given you a week-to-week list of the work that is due and the dates. Now, obviously, things happen. Sometimes you need more time than expected on assignment. Sometimes you finish them quicker. So I reserve the option of changing materials if needed or changing dates if needed. But because we're on an accelerated term of only 11 weeks, we should be on time. Okay, so please read through the syllabus. And once you get to the end, have a look at the essay checklist. This is edited standard written English minimum requirements. This checklist is going to be attached to all your final graded essays. You don't need it for your redraft, but for whatever you submit as the final grade for an essay. I've actually included that as a separate document on the introduction page. Also, if you notice, there's an acknowledgement sheet. I'm going to have you upload that, sign it, and upload that next week after we have final ads and drops in the course. All right, so let's go back to the introduction page. Okay, so just under, I'm on the introduction page, just next to the syllabus box is an essay checklist. That's the checklist that I just mentioned that's also added to your syllabus. Right under it is a student grade sheet. This helps you record your grades that you receive on assignments so you know what to expect for the course. And then just next to that is the Bedford St. Martin APA update. That is the style guide that you'll be using for the course. And also you can get APA information just by Googling it. Plus we'll have a lot of videos in the course. Okay, just under that, we have some EN 202 grading rubrics. Now that rubrics gives you an idea of what's required of each essay. So we have a research paper essay grade sheet. We also have rubrics for grading the quality of your forum interactions. And then I've given you some resources for APA. There's a citation machine, EasyBib, and Google Docs Online. We'll be using Google Docs to share information. Just below that is NMC Library Services for looking up literature for your project. ExpoHost, some information on getting on there because you will need some academic literature for your essays and consequently your projects. At the end of the introduction, you have final due dates. The first essay is April 19th, and I've got the redraft and the late day. Next essay, April 26th, a redraft, late day. Next essay, May 10th, redraft, late day, and so on. Okay, so let's go scroll back up to the top. We've been on introduction, now we're going to go to this week. Okay, we're on April 1st through April 7th. Again, you've got a welcome to EN 202 online. We've just done a brief review of the syllabus. This week you need to prepare for the course. So the first thing you should do is confirm you're enrolled or contact Mr. Hunter for assistance on self-enrolling. 2, purchase the course textbook. Of course, those are not in yet, but are supposed to be by Friday. And you always have the option of purchasing an electronic one and getting it immediately. Download and open the attached syllabus and review that for the course quiz, which is coming up. And then you have a task. And your task is to open a free student Weebly account. So you'll need to go to Google and put in weebly.com, and there's some information at the bottom. So if you look at that task, it says see information below. Scroll all the way down, and you will see that there's a link to get your free Weebly account and some information. So you can click that URL, and then it'll take you right to Weebly. This is your account. You can do what you want with this account. I really suggest that you use your NMC ID and password because often people forget it and there's no way to access it later. It's your account. But once you open this account, I can send you an invitation to join our Class Weebly account. And there I'll be giving you a page, and that's where you're going to put in your initial proposal and your final project for your overall project and your e-portfolio and your course reflection during the final. So you're building a web page for this class as part of your project to share your results and ideas. Okay, now you don't need to do anything other than opening the Weebly account or by sending out a letter later. If you already have the Curious Research Writer textbook, start reading chapter 1. If not, I've basically assigned a chapter a week, but I will be giving you a little extra time after chapters 1, 2, and 3 to review, so you'll have a chance to catch up a little. Okay, the chapters are rather long, so make sure that you've read them and start on them as soon as possible. Again, if you want to reach me, I'm available by email or a Moodle post. Okay. Every Thursday, I'll be available online on the NMC online chat, okay? And if you look here, there's chat for week 1. I'll be there this Thursday if you've got any questions at all. Okay, so you have an introductory activity. Make sure that you click that. That's due on Friday. I might just go ahead and extend that now for you. Because we still have people joining. I'll do that in a second. I'll try to extend that through the 7th. Okay, it says the 5th now. All right, you also have a syllabus quiz. You need to click on that, but you still have time to do that at the middle of next week. So although these things are here for you to do, I'm giving you a little bit of free extra time to get them done at the beginning of next week because of the fact that it takes a while to get on and people are joining and so on. And there's also a wait list. Okay, so make sure, be diligent about clicking when things are due. All right, I think that's all there is. Again, the things that you need to do this week are participate in the introductory activity, which basically is writing out your ideas and your interest in a one-page essay and sharing that on the forum in order to start brainstorming about what your project topic will be. So hopefully you write about something that you're interested, or more than one thing, because this is brainstorming, that you're interested in researching. And keep in mind that although you will be getting stuff from literature, national literature, international, and local literature, you're also expected to get real hands on primary data yourself, which means you'll do an experiment or questionnaires or interviews. You'll be collecting new data that nobody else has had, building a survey. A survey is a required part of the course, so everybody will be doing a survey on their projects and sharing them with each other. Okay, so bear in mind that you need to um, think of a topic that at least someone in the Northern Marianas Islands could help by participating in regards to answering whatever research question you come up with to look into. Um, there's also a YouTube video that you need to watch on choosing a research topic, which will give you a good idea of where you're headed for the project. Again, once you've read through the syllabus and all the materials, you can take the syllabus quiz. All right, I think that's all. I'm glad that you're here, and please let me know if you've got any questions. So I've gone through the introduction and your assignments for this week.